Hello and welcome to Connolly Outdoors. Today I'm doing a second review on the Buddy Heater. Now, why am I doing a second review on the Buddy Heater? The reason is the first review was when I first got the Buddy Heater. Second review is after just over a year's worth of use, so that I can actually inform you by my own personal usage of this product how well it performed in the field. Now, first of all, let me just tell you that this particular portable Buddy Mr. Heater, otherwise known as the Buddy Heater, is the medium size. There's a small one and there's a large one. This is the medium size. It has 4,000 BTU and 9,000 BTU heat projection capabilities. So you can decide on low it's 4,000 and on high it is 9,000. So you can decide if you want to have a low heat or a high heat. Now, if you watch my first review, I went over all the specifications and everything. I just want to show you the changes that I implemented with this, and also tell you and inform you exactly how this thing held up in the field. Okay, so let's talk about some of the changes that I did. First of all, I bought this filter. Now, this filter, I found out, is very important because it prevents oil from leaching into the actual fuel, okay? So you've got a much cleaner transfer of propane from here into the Buddy Heater. This filter prevents that leaching of the oil from taking place, which is very important because I actually got a comment from somebody saying, hey, my filter is not working properly. Do you think that it is bunged up, you know? And yes, that's probably what's happened. He can't start his Buddy Heater because he did not have the filter. And as a result, the hose has got stuff inside of it. And that's obviously not good for the Buddy Heater. And it's not going to make the product work at its most efficient level. So I highly, highly recommend, which I discovered through trial and error, to get that filter. Very, very important. I also added the fan. I added this little tray, and I was previously using this right here where I had the fan on it. So I can use either, and I'll demonstrate how they both work. You hook that up and put the fan on it. It sits, I'll show you in a second how it sits, but basically it sits like that. And the other option is this tray, which I'll also show you how that works, because you can actually cook using this tray or at least heat water. So this is the clip, and it sits on the grill like this. I'll show you how this basically clips in. So what happens is you want to put this swinging bar underneath the grill, like so. And then these other legs, actually it's better if you put the legs in first, sorry. Then take the swinging bar and just clip it in. Now that thing is solid as a rock. Really solid in there, as you can see. You can see how sturdy that is. That thing locks in there tight. So you've got this underneath here. You got these little arms like that. And they're putting pressure on this bar. This one puts pressure on this bar. And then when you go to put the fan in, front loading, that thing is in there. I mean, that's in there securely. Like I said, it can rattle around a little bit. When it's going, sometimes it makes a little bit of a noise because it moves like that, a tiny little bit. But I mean, no big deal. It's in there pretty securely. It's not going to actually move on you. I mean, it moves a little bit like this, but that's about it. Even that is very, very low. The other thing I use, which has two places that you can put it. So if you just put it on the first one, it sits like that. That's the first attachment, as you can see, and that's where the tray can sit. Second attachment pushing it back just a little bit further. That's the second attachment. And of course you can put a cup or anything you want on there, or even a small pot. And of course you can put the fan on there. So it's a multi-purpose tray. So you can use either the fan, a pot, or a small cup like that, and it works really well. So you can use the 1 pound canister, or you can use, of course, a full 20-pound propane tank, which is what I'm going to use right now. So we're going to hook this up. Oops. Move that out of the way temporarily, just temporarily. I'm actually going to put it on there in a minute. Let's get this hooked up. Now when you're actually hooking the hose up to the tank, you actually want to turn counterclockwise to get it started in there. And then full turns till it's nice and tight counterclockwise. There we go, nice and tight. Move this over just a tiny bit. Okay. All right, now let's start this. So starting the buddy heater, you're gonna click from the off, which is right here. You go from the off position to pilot, push it down. You can hear the fuel. Might have to do a few clicks. You will get a little ignition, a light up. You'll get a light up. And then of course it will ignite. There's the flame. Let it sit there, keep it pressed down for just a little bit, and then you can turn to low or high. And it's starting. There, it just started on low. I just turned it to high, and now it's starting. And that will give off a lot of heat, without a doubt. So that's how you start it. Turn it off is just, obviously, just take it from high all the way to this off position over here. Off. So one more time. From the off position to the pilot, push it down, wait for the flame. Once you get the flame, just hold it down for a little bit. Then it's good, and then you can turn it to low, and it'll start, or high, whatever. And now it's started. You can hear it too. So that's how you start the buddy heater. It's exactly the same startup whether you're using a 20-pound tank or a 1-pound tank. One other thing I forgot to mention is these clips. That's actually where the fan sits under so that it does not fall over in any way. So those clips are really handy for keeping the fan stable when it does start running. Now I've got it on low. Just put the fan on it. Very, very shortly that fan will kick in. It does not take long for that fan to activate. It's even quicker, obviously, if you've got it on high. So once that fan activates, it is blowing warm air in whatever direction, wherever you put the buddy heater, that's where it is gonna blow. Now the tray has to heat up. It takes a little bit longer with the tray because the tray's gotta heat up before the fan gets activated, as opposed to the clip. The clip, the fan almost starts immediately because the fan is receiving the heat almost immediately. But with the tray, it's gonna take a little bit longer for the fan to get started. Okay, so with the buddy heater on low, you're looking at 4,000 BTU. Buddy heater turned to high. It's on low right now. If I turn it to high, you can see it gets more red, and that's 9,000 BTU, which is excellent for small, medium size, and even large tents for that matter. Now, this might be actually even a little bit too powerful for a really small tent, but I would definitely recommend it. Hot tent camping, camping in any kind of cold weather, absolutely. Now, in terms of time, the 1 pound propane tank will get you 3 hours on high and 6 hours on low, roughly, okay? Don't quote me on this, but that's what I've discovered. The 20 pound tank on high will get you roughly anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. I've had it last as long as 24 hours on high. On low, it will last a long time. It'll last probably anywhere up to 48 hours on low. But again, it depends on your, the extreme conditions that you are in, or low conditions, because the buddy heater is affected by the temperatures that it's, how much work it has to do, so to speak. But it's very quiet, and the only noise I ever heard with this was this fan. Sometimes the fan would rattle a little bit, but the actual buddy heater gives off lots of heat, not a lot of noise. Now, the other things I recommend is CO2 alert, just in case, carbon monoxide detector, just in case. Now, this comes with safety features. It'll shut itself off if it gets tilted or it falls over, and it also has low oxygen detection, so it'll also shut off if it has low oxygen detection. So if it falls over, it's going to shut off. If there's low oxygen, it's going to shut off. So therefore, I believe it's safe to use in a tent. I've used it many times in a tent, and it's very, very safe. The only thing is, always be cautious, have your detector. And the other thing is, make sure you've got some air ventilation. No matter what, make sure that you ventilate. Don't totally seal the tent up completely where there's zero ventilation. You definitely want to get some air flowing through there. Now, the other thing that a lot of people just don't think about is, if you're in a tent that's got a bathtub, or you've got a mat or something like that, just for safety, again, this is just me being a little bit overcautious, the Steve Wallace in me, I'll often put the buddy heater on top of a tray such as this. So I'll show you what I do here. So this was giving off more heat than I expected, even on low. So I went and got my fire safety glove just to be safe. And basically, I put it up on here, and you can position it any way you want inside of your tent. And when it's sitting on here, it's not going to damage your floor, melt your floor if possible, because heat rises, chances of it damaging your floor are very, very low in your tent. But I don't like to take chances. There's nothing worse than having an accident at 3 a.m. So I like to put it on this so that it's up off the ground. Also, if you're in a tent that doesn't have bottom, often hot tents and tents where you're ice fishing, they don't often have a bottom. This prevents the ice below from melting extremely. It's still gonna melt a little bit, but not as much as if this is sitting on the ground. So you're not gonna get as much water inside of your tent. So this is my safety precaution, that I enjoy to put it on a tray like this, so that it is just a little bit safer. Now, I only started doing this recently. In the past, I've normally just put it on the floor, and it's been fine, but just as an added safety precaution, I've added this. Okay, now, my final thoughts on the buddy heater is, I think it's an excellent product. I've never had any problems with it in the field. Gives off a lot of heat. It seems to be a very, very well-built product. Like I said, you can cook on it. You can use this thing here for the fan, and the fan will start right away. You can use a tray. It still starts. It's just that it takes a little bit longer for the fan to activate, because the tray's got to get heated up and whatnot. But those are the two things that I can use for the fan. As far as the tray goes, like I said, a small cup such as this, small pot such as this, and you can use it to cook. So the versatility of the product is unbelievable. It's really well built, and in the field using it, it has kept me and my son warm. So I cannot complain or say anything negative about this product at all. Use the 20-pound tank, use the 1-pound tank, whatever you prefer to use. But please remember, get that filter. That filter is really, really important, because then your hose is gonna last a lot longer. All right, I wanna thank you for joining me today, and I hope that this helped you. My 1 year, actually over 1 year review of the Little Buddy Heater 4000 and 9000 BTU medium-sized unit. Thanks a lot, and as always, keep camping. See ya.